when Max Verstappen crossed the line at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Finishing ninth after starting eighth, it wasn't just a bad day at the office. It was a moment of brutal honesty that sent shockwaves through Formula One. Facing the media, Verstappen didn't hold back. He said, "At this rate, we're not winning again this season. No sarcasm, no fluff. Just a cold, clear message from a champion who usually keeps his cool even in the worst moments." Now, if Max is sounding the alarm like that, something's really off inside Red Bull. This is the same guy who's been rewriting the record books and dominating the grid. So, when he admits defeat with half the season still ahead, you know it's more than just a frustrating weekend. It's deeper, it's structural, and honestly, how often do you hear that kind of raw talk from someone like Max? Almost never. That statement wasn't about throwing shade, it felt like a calculated warning. Not just to the media or the fans, but to his own team. A wake-up call. Red Bull, as you know, didn't just miss the podium. They looked completely lost from the moment the RB1 hit the track in Budapest. Verstappen's radio messages told the full story. Nothing works. That's not frustration that the driver watching the house he helped build start to crack. So let me ask you this, do you think Verstappen was just venting out of frustration? Or was he trying to send a message and push Red Bull out of its comfort zone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to know what side you're on. Also, let's throw a quick vote out there. Do you believe Red Bull will win another race this season? Yes or no? Hit the poll and let's see what the community thinks. And hey, if you're into these kinds of deep F1 insights, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your subscription is very important to us, help us grow and reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. There's a lot more to break down, and this story is just getting started. Let's be clear, what happened in Hungary wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just a case of a car struggling at one quirky track. What we're seeing right now with Red Bull is something far more serious. This is a top team unraveling in real time, and the signs have been building for a while. The RB21 didn't just lack speed, it looked directionless. The car was unstable in slow corners, couldn't generate tire temperature when it mattered, and didn't respond to setup changes. That's a big red flag, and when Verstappen gets on the radio saying, "Nothing works," you know it's not a minor setup issue. That's a team with no answers. And while Red Bull stumbles, McLaren is doing the exact opposite. Their performance in Hungary, another 1-2 finish, wasn't just dominant, it was methodical. The MCL39 isn't just fast, it's balanced, adaptable, and easy on tires. It's the kind of car that wins championships, not just races. That's why the paddock isn't treating Hungary as an isolated event. They're seeing a shift in momentum. Here's the uncomfortable part. Red Bull has only won 2 races this season. 2. For a team that made domination look routine, that's not a stat, it's a warning sign. We're not talking about bad luck or a run of misfortune. We're looking at a trend. And in Formula One, when trends emerge, they're usually linked to something deeper: car philosophy, development decisions, or leadership changes. So now the big question is Red Bull in a temporary dip, or are we watching the beginning of a decline? Drop your opinion in the comments. I want to hear from you. Do you think Red Bull can bounce back and fix the RB21 before it's too late? Or is this season slipping through their fingers? And if you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to like the video. It really helps more F1 fans find us. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every one of you makes a difference. Up next, we're diving into Red Bull's leadership, because the person steering the ship now isn't Christian Horner, and that changes everything. Let's talk about the man now leading Red Bull, Lauren Mekies. He's only 2 races into the role of team principal, and already the pressure is unlike anything he's faced before. Taking over a championship-winning team is one thing. Taking over when that team is sliding backward, that's something else entirely. Christian Horner wasn't just a figurehead, he was the spine of Red Bull Racing. Whether you liked him or not, Horner had complete control over operations, strategy, and, most importantly, the trust of the drivers. With him gone, there's a vacuum. And right now, Mekies is trying to fill that space with calm leadership and positive messaging. But in Formula One, calm doesn't always cut it when the results are falling apart. Max Verstappen, as we've seen, is not the type to sugarcoat things. He wants answers, he wants solutions, and most of all, he wants a team principal who can steer the ship confidently when the seas get rough. That's where things get tricky, because as much experience as Mekies brings, He doesn't yet carry the authority or fear factor that someone like Horner commanded. And then there's Helmut Marko. Publicly, he and Mekki seem aligned. They've both brushed off Hungary as a one-off, blaming heat, tire degradation, and slow corners. But behind the scenes, their philosophies might be clashing. Marko is known for reacting fast and taking bold decisions. Mekki's, on the other hand, appears more methodical, less reactive, more process-driven. That kind of mismatch can work if results are coming in. But when the team is struggling, it creates tension. Let me ask you, do you think Laurent Mekki's is the right person to lead Red Bull through this storm? Can he grow into the role fast enough to avoid a full-blown collapse? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious how you see this playing out. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep bringing you the real stories from behind the F1 curtain. We're closing in on our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Your click gets us one step closer. Now, let's look deeper into what might be going wrong under the hood, because technical problems might be the real root of this crisis. Under the surface of Red Bull's recent struggles lies a much bigger issue, one that has everything to do with engineering decisions, development strategy, and possibly a shift in focus away from 2025 entirely. And honestly, it might explain a lot of what we're seeing on track. Let's start with the car itself, the RB21. Designed around Verstappen's precise, aggressive turning style, this car was supposed to dominate. But there's a theory going around that this year's Pirelli tire compounds just aren't compatible with that aggressive design. The tires demand a more progressive load, meaning the RB21's strength, sharp front-end response might actually be hurting it. Then there's the upgrade strategy. Word inside the paddock is that Red Bull may have spread its resources too thin. Instead of refining a proven concept, they were chasing aggressive upgrades early in the season. Some of those upgrades were reportedly scrapped completely. That's not just wasted effort, it's lost time and direction. And here's where things get even more interesting. There are whispers that Red Bull has already begun shifting focus to 2026. That's when the new engine formula kicks in, and Red Bull will debut its own fully in-house power unit with Ford. If that's true, it would mean the team is quietly sacrificing 2025 to get a head start on the future. Now, in theory, that makes sense. Long-term planning is smart. But in Formula One, perception is everything. If fans, sponsors, or even Verstappen himself think the team is no longer pushing 100%, it can crush morale. That's probably why Red Bull is being so careful with their messaging. One moment you've got Max saying, "We're not winning," again, and the next you've got Mekki's insisting everything is fine. So let me ask you, if you were running Red Bull, would you push all in on 2025 and try to turn it around? Or would you shift gears and go all out for 2026? Let's get a real discussion going in the comments. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Help us keep digging into the real stories in F1, and let's grow this community to 1,000 fans strong. Next up, we're heading into the heart of the matter: what this crisis could mean for Verstappen's future, and whether Red Bull's era of dominance is officially coming to an end. Let's wrap this up by looking at what really matters now: Red Bull's future, and more importantly, Max Verstappen's place in it. Because if there's one thing this whole situation is making clear, it's that the dominant force we've seen for the past few years isn't bulletproof, and Verstappen knows it. When Max said, "We're not winning again this season," it wasn't just a critique, it felt like a warning shot. Whether it was meant to wake the team up or force internal changes, the statement has already reshaped the narrative. Suddenly, every weekend feels like a test, not just of performance, but of identity. Let's not forget, Max is more than just a driver. He is the face of Red Bull Racing. So when he doubts the car, the team, or the direction things are heading, it rattles the entire organization. That's why this slump isn't just about lap times, it's about confidence. It's about belief. Because in Formula One, once a team believes it's lost its edge, it's incredibly hard to get it back. And if the RB21 continues to struggle through the next few circuits, Zandvoort, Monza, Baku, the damage might go beyond just this season's title hopes. It could affect Verstappen's long-term decisions. We've already seen how quickly loyalty fades in this sport when a project stops delivering. Could Max start looking elsewhere if Red Bull can't give him a winning car by the time the 0-6 rolls around? You tell me, do you think Verstappen will stay loyal to Red Bull if this decline continues? Or are we seeing the first cracks in a relationship that's been rock solid for years? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you've been enjoying this journey through the real Red Bull story, do us a favor, like the video and subscribe. Your support helps us break down the narratives most people overlook, and we're getting closer every day to that 1,000 subscriber goal. The 2025 season still has plenty of twists ahead, and something tells me the next one might be even bigger than what we've seen so far. Stay with us, because this ride isn't over yet.